We're back playing MLB 08 Road to the Show. This time around, I'm going to be creating a player with Cuban descent. So when I went through looking at the 100 baby names that were Cuban, a name that stood out was Osvaldo. There's no meaning behind it. And for me, I already know I'm going to butcher a lot of the pronunciation in this series. When I went and I looked at last names, a name that stood out to me was Diaz. And even when I played this game, I heard them pronounce one of the players' name as Diaz. So one of us is wrong. I don't know if it's me or if it's the game. And as you go through it, like I said earlier, he's a Cuban player, and there's going to be a disconnect between the Cuban league and the MLB. So his story is a little bit different, and he's not going to be 25. He's going to be 22. He's going to be a young, bright prospect. As I create his build, though, it's going to be based on the 08 cover star, Ryan Howard. So he's going to wear number 6. He's going to be a first baseman. He's going to be left-handed. The average height for the players on the World Baseball Classic roster for Cuba in 06 was 6 foot, and then the weight was 186. And then now everything I'm going to do is just to make sure he doesn't look like a generic thumb. So about his story, before the World Baseball Classic, where he was a backup in 06, where his team finished as the runner-ups, he actually played in the Cuban Serie Nacional for Industriales from 2002 to 2007. In 2003, they won the championship. In 04, they won the championship, and then again in 06. So this is one of their better teams. It's in Havana, so it's one of the most recognizable teams. And the problem is, though, yeah, he won those championships. Yeah, he played in the World Baseball Classic and got a little bit more recognition, but there is no relationship between Cuba and the MLB. So instead of just being posted and allowed to go play freely, he had to defect. So in the fall of 2007, he defected, and he actually ended up going the wrong way. Instead of going straight to Miami or Orlando or Jacksonville or wherever in Florida, he went the other way to Aruba. And it was just a mix-up, and he ended up spending not even 2 weeks in Aruba before he got everything settled and then went back up to Florida. So again, it's different now. I think since, 15 or 19 or something like that, where now Cuban players can just basically be posted. Before that, though, a lot of horror stories. A lot of guys got lost in translation and transportation. But when you're a great player, all it is someone has to see you and help you. Someone that's been to the majors and been through what you're trying to go through. So for him, what we're trying to do is find a situation for spring training where he could, compete for a job. Like if you look at all these programs or teams actually on the screen, a lot of them don't need a first baseman, right? Like Toronto does behind Frank Thomas. The Yankees do behind Giambi. And the thing is, even the Giants need one. Rockies. The thing is, though, you want to be able to go somewhere that you can develop. So we're going to go with Pittsburgh for spring training. And it's not going to be easy. Obviously, you just saw there were some better options. But it's just like I said, like relationships too. When you find someone that can help you through the process, you can also find someone that believes in you. So Pittsburgh's the team that believes in him the most. And as we go through here, he's just a prospect, at 22 years old. He's not at his peak yet. So we're going to have to try our best during spring training to get a roster spot. So we're going through now, looking at who's on this young Pittsburgh team. And what fascinates me, bro, is Pittsburgh has always had good players. I just feel like they never know what to do with them. Like, even through recent history, when you go through, what's that one dude's name? McCutcheon. They've always had good players. So we're going to go through spring training and just make the best of it. And we're out here in sunny Florida. Back to kind of his origin in America. And we're just going to try to do our best. That's all it is. I mean, that's all you can ask for at this point. Not being a coveted free agent where you're getting paid millions of dollars to come to America. It's more like a tryout. So we're going up against one of our first defensive situations. Jimmy Rollins went, man, during this time, bro, I feel like Philadelphia was stacked. Bro, what you doing, man? He tried to do the ESPN highlight play without the ball. He tried to run up one-handed, barehanded, forgot the ball. But you can see here, he's pretty tall. I mean, 6 foot is not really tall in everyday height, but I mean, he looks tall right here in this shot. All right, time for the first at bat. Time to show what we're going to be or what we're going to try to be in this career. In the last one, he was just like a hitter, normal hitter. I'm trying to go for power with this 08 series. He's going to be a power hitter. That's a bad pitch because it's such in a weird place, like on the corner, where you're going to get a K if you don't swing, but if you do hit it, you're going to pull it because it's so far inside. And then it's high, so it's going to probably be a pop-up. But just like the last series, oh, this is a good pitch right here. Yeah, this is a sweet one. Let's go. That's his first hit on the second pitch in training, spring training. I was about to say training camp, like it's football. But that's his first hit, easy money. Man, back up, bro. This man is such a hype man. It's not even funny. He looks generic as hell, too. I don't know. He don't got no features. All right, then we're going to go to at bat number 2. And as he hit that first one that we just were looking at, he actually went all the way around and got driven in. So that's where that run came in. But that's not a bad start. You gave me one pitch I could actually hit, and he drilled it out to, what was it, left? All right, this one. And like I said, I got guest pitch on, and guest pitch helps because then it shows you where it is, so it's way easier to hit it. Then you just got to get your timing on. Like right there, I guessed wrong. And I always just guess 4-seam fastball because it's just like real life, bro. Let's go. That's hit number 2. 2 for 2 so far. If you throw me a fastball and I know it's a fastball, I'm blasting it, right? So that's why I just always guess fastball. These other ones, like if you throw a curve or whatever the heck you want to throw, I'm screwed. I don't even know. So 2 for 3. And he's actually proven that he was worth the spring training invite so far. I mean, shoot, for someone that hasn't even played baseball since early 2007, or yeah, like competitively, because he left in fall of 2007. So he hasn't really played competitive baseball in a minute. So all you see right now is like natural, for lack of better words. That's a good one. Let me get that. Damn, it went off his face. I mean, you want to dive, right? You want to act like it's WWE. You got to stop the ball with whatever part of your body you can stop it with. So I would say that was a great couple at bats. And we got the L, even though we just had bases loaded. Chase Utley, bro, he ain't do nothing. 0.125. So that was a great debut. 3 for 4, had 1 strikeout. I mean, like I said, kind of being rusty because he hasn't played meaningful baseball since 07 season in Cuba. So look at that, bro. He's like 44th out of 45th in the whole organization. That's crazy. Or was that 44th out of 45th in the whole league? So I'm going to simulate a little bit further ahead by like a week. I'm not going to play every single game. I'm going to just play some of these games that I think would be important for his career. And during spring training, I just want to check in once a week, make sure everything is going right. Damn. Okay, this game is crazy. 0 for 3 so far with a strikeout. And one of those things that I don't want to become a habit is the striking out. So like I said, he's going to be a power hitter at first base. You do not want to continue to strike out, strike out, strike out. But when you're swinging for power and you're trying to go crazy, I mean, it happens. Oh, this is a perfect pitch. Appreciate that. Damn, bro. I think this was just a rough day. It was like more of a comeback to reality situation. I don't think the Jays are that great. I just think they had his number this game. And so they get the win easy, 7-0. And we had K, fielder's choice, and then 2 easy putouts. And his batting average drops to 272. Still has 6 hits, and it's crazy because remember, we had 3 in the first game. So hasn't been that great after that game, that first game. But we'll simulate again another week. And now we get to play against the Yankees. So as you see here, a lot of zeros. He's not doing that great. And then in this game, he has 1 walk, which ended up being an RBI, I guess. Or maybe it was a fielder's choice or something. Right now he's 0 for 3. So in 2 of his first 3 games that we're showing, hasn't been great. Hopefully he could get something going right here. I know it's rough as a baseball player to be 0 for 3 and 0 for 4. Jeez, what are we swinging at? What are we swinging at? You see that? He had to like bend over out of his stance just to put the bat on the ball. Like, why even swing at that? Like right here, my guess pitch ain't working, but we get it into the gap. Let's get an RBI. Come through with the RBI. Let's see. Come on, finish, finish, finish. Let's go. Slow as hell. Slow as hell, bro. But that was a nice gap hit. Right to the, what would you say, left of the third baseman. I don't even know right from my left. Ain't that some? But that wasn't a bad hit. We got the win finally. And it's because, yeah, fly out, put out, walk. And then they got the single. It probably helped that we had that single late in the game to help the team. So again, he's a spring training invitee. So nothing is set in stone. We got to play at least once a week to make sure. So now we're going to get the Phillies again. But let me go look at the stats because it's really been disappointing. And obviously we knew it was going to be a adjustment period. So 274, 14 hits so far. And we're just going to go through all the stats. I'm never probably going to do this ever again, though, to be honest. I don't go that far over. And let's get right back to it. We're going to be playing Philly. And we're not that good, 6-14. That's why, like I said, though, this team has always been like one of the teams for young players to go to. And, I mean, like I said, besides McCutcheon and, I don't know, there's not too many people I could think of right now that's coming to mind. They don't really become stars in Pittsburgh. They don't really win anything. To me, I just feel like they're there like a college run where you go for a couple years to get ready. Man, I almost swung at that bull crap. Look how far inside it was. 274 is not a bad average. And that's one of the things I learned about baseball too, is if you can hit 1 for 3, that's only 300. 333. That's a bad pitch. What are you doing? Like, do you think I'm an idiot because I have a low batting average? So, like, someone with an average of, like, 275, that's not a bad player. It's really not. It's like 1 for 4, and maybe sometimes you go 1 for 3. That's literally what that means. Some games 1 for 4, some games 1 for 3. And so, I pulled it. I ain't gonna lie, the one good thing about spring training, though, is, like, with this team, as you can see, we're in sunny Florida. So, it's not so bad. And you want to know something? Let me get that. Okay. I thought that was about to be a pop-up. You saw how it came off the bat, bro? Let me get that. Appreciate that hit. One thing I was going to say, too, with the whole defection situation, I always think it's weird, too, because when you defect, I think it, like, you get that money, right? It's not like how when they do the posting system in Japan or wherever else that you pay the club or you pay the league to get the player. If you defect, it's more dangerous. It's kind of like immigration in a sense, without being like the normal legal. So I was gonna say, being in Florida, isn't that like a little bit scary for some of these players during this time to be right back? Let me get that. That's not a bad at all. First pitch. But isn't it scary for some of these players, I think, to be so close back to Cuba, where it's like, okay, I got to look over my back. Got to look over my shoulder. So another game where we didn't get the win. We get blown out 7-0. We get 2 hits, which is probably one of my better games since that first game. My average went up to 296. And like I said, I want to be a power hitter, so being 296 is not bad. He's literally second to last ranked player in the league coming out. So we got a long way to go. So we got another game next week. We'll try to play the Yankees again. And we'll go through, see if that batting average went up from 296 in that week. Because again, we're playing for a contract, so 298. We have a few hits, few runs, and we're going to go and play this game against the Yankees. And I really don't know what my goal is, because here we go right back to 0 for 3. I don't know how. It's just happening. He's having really good games where he's getting 3 hits, 2 hits, or then he's having really bad games where he has no hits or 1 hit. So yeah, it's not easy, this adjustment period. And you would think too, right now towards the end, he'll be heating up, but it'll come. I think this will be one of the better series because it'll all fall in line when it should. Let me get that. And that's just like, that. He's not really hitting with power yet. He's just hitting the ball in general, getting the timing down and the speed of the pitching down. He ain't hitting with power yet because, shoot. Imagine. So we lost this one, another blowout by 7. So field, fly out, put out, and then a single in the 9th. Yeah, we're not too good as a team at all. We've been getting ragdolled this whole spring training. And I think that's what's going to help him, because 296 is not a great average. But I think the fact of the matter is, with this series, I'm going to have to spend a lot of my time and a lot of my efforts in training. And I think that's something I dropped the ball on in the last series. I would train, but not that much. This series, I think what you're going to start seeing from this player is going to be because I spent a lot of time in the weight room. He's going to get stronger. So, just to look at my last game, we lost by 1 finally. And I'm going to play I think, last game of spring training. So, this one's not starting off great, but we're 0 for 1. And we're going to get a chance to get back to being a solid hitter because this is early. Like I said, though, one of the things I don't want to show as much is how much we're going to train, but he's going to have to be in that weight room and get stronger because he's 22 years old with a nice frame. Let me get that. Right back up the middle. So if he puts on the muscle, if he gets stronger, them hits that we're seeing that's just little ground hits, like right that one where we're hitting the gaps or the hole in the defense, yeah, them they gonna start to fly. So right now he's 1 for 3, and should be another hit right here, I hope. Trying to end it on a good note. And like I said earlier, I think the reason why this team would keep him too is because they're not that good. Like, this is not a program where you have to be at a certain level. Like, we looked at other programs like the Yankees, for example, where he could have been AAA right off the bat because they didn't really have nobody. But like I said, you want to go somewhere where you have the space to develop. I feel like with the Yankees situation, Toronto, some of the other situations, I don't feel like you can really develop. Like right here, no matter what, bases loaded, he's pitching some bull crap. Bases loaded, bottom of the 8th, we're already in the lead. I feel like right here, anything you do would be positive, right? Anything. Some of these other organizations, they're looking for you to be a star at 22. And we all know, let me get that. Let's go, fielder's choice. So I get the RBI and kind of come through. Honestly, I came through. I mean, it was a hit that allowed one player to advance. And then I got on, so it wasn't a double play. So now we're up by 2. And we get the win. That's really what matters. Like I said, this is a place where he could prove himself and then not feel so much pressure. So fly out, like I said, hit him for power, single, put out, and then fielder's choice. We just got to stop putting that ball on the ground. And he only has 1 home run so far in the whole spring training. So we got a lot of work to do. Got a long way to go. And so, gonna see, yeah, that's the end of spring training. I got an offer for $79,000 to be a AA bench player. Dang, we only won 10 games in spring training. So I'm gonna up the offer. This is negotiations. I'm not gonna just sign for $79,000. So we're gonna up it. They're like, no, we're not doing 85. We can't give you that extra $6,000. So they say $82.75 for my first year. And there it goes again to another video. Could have been a loser, but I came to ball. Thank you for watching this video. See you soon. I'm a star who knew I'd do it.